Okay, right. I believe I'm live. This is going to be the European session on the 6th of August 2024. Came off of a decent day yesterday. Pretty much business as usual, but had a decent day. I think I did around 69 points or so for the day. That's obviously between the European and the US session, so I'm finding the new software overlay to be extremely helpful. So today I think we're just going to forget about yesterday being a good day and a winning day and just start fresh. So the market will open in about 2 minutes time. 1 minute's time. Had a pretty decent sleep last night. Woke up this morning feeling relatively fresh. Had a good workout, had a good shower, having some Earl Grey now, and I'm going to try and make today a good day as well. So on the daily we've had a big bounce on the FTSE, and I think also in the DAX. Also quite a big bounce right off of this 17,000 level. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today, whether or not we continue with this bounce or we come back down and retest this 17,000 level. Okay, markets have just opened, I believe. Wow. Okay. Right off the bat, eh? See, I'm pretty certain that we're going to get a first bar negative in the FTSE today. Let's see what happens, but so far it seems to be the way that it's pointing. So we might be able to get in with a first bar negative trade. Quite a strong movement down there, so just play it as it comes. It might continue to push. We might not even get a reversal off of the first bar negative. We'll see. I did trade the US session last night. I didn't stream it, however. Well, I did stream it, but for some reason my microphone decided to take the evening off, so there was no point in keeping it up. It held no value if I couldn't hear myself explaining my thoughts during the trades and what I was doing. So to revert back seemed pretty pointless, so I just deleted it. Right, so certainly looks as though first bar is going to be negative. Look at this 8,000 level. It's a nice psychological number. That's a big bounce out of the DAX. Grabbing some liquidity perhaps. Wow. So this is where first bar negative can potentially be a bit tricky, because we kind of want to enter under the low of the first bar, and if the, if the body is pulled all the way back, price is pulled all the way back, and the body's quite small, we'd have to wait for price to come all the way back down before we'd look to get in. Sure. Okay. Wonder if the FTSE will follow suit. Okay, we've got about 25 seconds left of the first 5-minute opening candle. The software should automatically chart the first bar negative. I'll be interested to see where it charts it. It should be down in this level over here. Okay. There we go. Take that out. Put a stop of 20 points on this. No wonder. I tend to treat the first bar negative as more of a scalp than a longer term hold, so ideally I'd like it to bounce, get my stop loss up to break even as soon as I see at least 10 to 15 points, and then if it does come back and stop me out at break even, so be it. typically I don't like to see such a big tail. Could also look at the opposite side of it. Sell it up here. If it reaches there. So that signal is sitting on a little bit of resistance, so a little bit of confluence, which is nice to see sometimes. Now we wait. I wonder if we're going to come back up and retest these highs over here. I may take this trade over here, but I think what I might do is maybe take it on a reduced size, 20 points away. Now let's take it on a full size. What does that put our stop loss? Just above this bar. I don't quite like that, because if it gets past here, the likelihood of it testing up here is also quite high. Those are not my standard colors, however, but okay. We'll have ASRS setting up the candle after this one. So we might negate the first bar negative and go for the ASRS. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. May look for could look for a little bar at the bottom of this candle here. The lows there. And we seem to be moving a bit. Does it get below these lows? There we go, okay. Quite a stronger push. Delete this order. And I'll leave this one in, see if we can get just below these lows. We may have a little bounce after these lows. Let's see. But I do want to be proactive. Try and get that stop loss up to break even if I can as quick as possible. I think around 10 or so points I would move it to break even. We're not quite getting back down to these lows though. And this is our ASRS candle that's now starting to set up. So, okay, yeah, so buy below prior bar, because that would have been paying off now. Typically a little bit more of a push than I would have liked to have seen. I think on 20 points they may have been stopped out. Yeah, 20 points should have just been stopped out. Don't typically like to see congestion prior to when these bars, the signal bars, set up. Okay. I think the prior bar has expired. We got about a minute, 45 seconds before we're going to look at the aggressive school run. So I might just have a quick bathroom break. Be right back. Quickest bathroom break of my life. 25 seconds to go. Okay, so there is our ASRS levels that we're going to look at. We still got the first bar negative on the FTSE. Now, which way do we want to trade? Technically, we need to set up on both ends. And we can flip the switch if necessary. I don't really like the look of this range, because you can get whipped around quite quickly. And also, our risk is a little bit higher. So we would need about 56 points either way. 56. Let's see which way it takes us. Again, going to actively manage. So we're going to try and get our stop loss up to break even as quickly as we can. Not too quick, but relatively quick. Okay, so we are in for a long. Five, 6 points. 8, 10, 9, 10. I'm going to get stop loss to break even there. I might give it just a little bit of room actually. No, I like it at break even. So I'm going to look up here at this level to take profit if we do get up there. If we don't get stopped out beforehand for break even. Which I think we are going to have happen to us. There's a nice little break. Whoa, there we go. Fantastic. I think I'm going to take it right there. Lovely. Lovely. think I'm going to get rid of this prior bar order now as well. So that was a nice little break. So I was looking at kind of these levels here to take profit. So what did we make on that guy? So we made about 32 points there. Supposed to let it run, but I'm trying to get this account up a little bit, so I'm going to take 32 points if the market gives it to me. We will also potentially have another opportunity for a school run, which is looking at the second 15-minute bar of the session. We might consider that on the FTSE. Let's just have a look. So we've got about 5 minutes left. Very nice little push there. Okay, so 33.6 points. Not too bad on a little account like this. So yeah, basically came back up to this level. There were a whole lot of sellers just waiting there, and now we've pushed straight back down. Would be lying if I said there wasn't a little bit of intuition there as well. I'd kind of just, well, I wouldn't say intuition, but maybe I was just being, I saw the 33 points and I wanted them. Is what it boils down to. I had no idea that this was going to happen directly afterwards on the next candle. But I was looking at this area over here, kind of here and here, because I think if you go onto a little bit of a higher time frame, well, sort of, not really, but there may have been a whole lot of sellers just sitting up here, kind of in this area. But taking those 33 points, I just did it because I wanted them. I had no idea that this was going to happen afterwards. Absolutely no idea, and that's how quickly it can happen. So in essence, I think I got a little bit lucky there. Let's see if a prior bar buy would have done anything here. Did we get below? I don't think we did. What's the low there? 436. 437, so we just didn't get below. Might do a little bit of scalping after this open. You need quite a high level of concentration to scalp. Feeling pretty fresh, still feeling pretty fresh. So, you know, those quick in and out trades, it doesn't zap your concentration too much. It's the ones that you get into and then have to wait a good number of bars before it actually does anything. It keeps you in no man's land, so it's right between your stop loss and your entry point. So you're losing, but it's not taking you out, but you also, you know, you're not winning, so you're just sitting in constant emotional turmoil. Okay, so there is school run. We didn't set up school run on FTSE, I believe, because we are still looking at a first bar negative. But these are basically the levels for the school run on the DAX, but I don't know if I'm going to get involved because it is quite a bit of risk. Let's just have a look on the 15-minute. So, yeah, 104 points worth of risk. I don't know about that. And I'd be more inclined to want a short than I would to want a long. Just based on what I'm seeing here. That could also be outrageously incorrect, but it's just what I see. And then school run, we trigger a short at this level and a long at this level on the FTSE. So what I might do is I might just identify those 2 points. And again, I think I'd rather be a seller. What are we looking at risk-wise here? 30 odd points. I've got to be so picky with these because of the small account. I might just observe the school run. Not crazy on that risk. I know it's typically what I shouldn't do. I shouldn't get complacent and have fear after just making a profit, but I just don't like the risk. If the risk was a little bit more tolerable, then I would definitely look at them. Huh. Five, 8, and 3, 0. 5, 9. That's a bit tight. Go maybe 6, 1, and 2, 8-ish. Yeah, big old range. Big old range, easy to get whipped around between the highs and the lows here, especially with this being a breakout strategy at its core. Essentially, I think when we got into the aggressive school run, typically you are told not to get into a trade kind of in the mid levels of the range. And that's exactly what we did there. We were quite lucky that it went back up to test kind of these highs here in the range. So that's a little bit off-putting with the school run strategy. I don't like it that it's within this range. FTSE not so much, but DAX certainly. Just a little bit more thinking to do, I think. A little bit more observing. And there is a mosquito that is chewing my ass here. Okay, so I just want to reiterate while sitting and watching that these aren't meant to be educational to anybody. These are mainly for my own way to reference my trades after the fact. So I'm not here to entertain, I'm not here to teach or educate, give market insights. I'm not even using my own strategy. This is somebody else's strategy. I'm just basically recording these videos as a way to have a video log of the trading session to revert back to afterwards while I'm journaling. So literally in that trade for a minute and a bit. Okay, so just for reference sake, I'm gonna write short over here, long over here. Good. Ugh, that's a horrible green. That green. And that red. Okay, so that's basically what we would be doing. Ooh, okay. So that's the idea. Tighten these up a little bit, but I like to have a little bit of a buffer on either side. I'm wondering if I don't take this short. Oh, the risk though. Okay, so we would be short now. We would be short. Oh man, it looks like it wants to go, but I'm in two minds. I really am in two minds. Well, we would be losing if we were short. Yeah, I want to be short, man. I really, really do. And Dex is just playing around in this range. Hmm. Well, if we were short, we'd be in a world of hurt at the moment. But never say never. Does it look like on 5 minutes? Bit of a double bottom. Do we break it? I don't know. I do not know. And Dex, I suppose you can say a bit of a double top. It's just this range I don't like, because who knows how long it's going to range for before it breaks either way. And within that range, if you do take a short or you do take a long, because it's breakout, if it just plays within the range, it'll make your life a living hell. Let's see. Looks like we got 2 news events today. No red folders, so not overly concerned. And this is it, just jumping back and forth between the charts and waiting and waiting and waiting. That's quite a good sign. Lower, lower, lower. See if we get the break and push here. That's what we want to see. Does it break and push? Let's just do this for the sake of accuracy. We would have been short here. Just so in review we can see how much turmoil we would have had to sit through. If it ever did go in our favor or go against us, we know where, on which candle we got in. like it's gonna go. If we can get a break below this low, we might see it run. Oh, this is where my brain goes absolutely crazy, because every time it pulls back above that line, it's giving me another opportunity to get in. Like now, or now. Hate having such a small account, but you know, at the same time, it keeps you very, very disciplined. Which I suppose is good, but you tend to miss opportunities. And now you think, oh, thank God I didn't go short. But you can't think that way. So we haven't broken either signal yet on the DAX. Okay. Streaming now for just over an hour. Took one trade. We'll have the brunch bar set up in 1, 2, 3, 4, about 45 minutes time. 30 minutes time. That's basically the 7th 15-minute candle, including the open candle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th that's just started. So yeah, 45 odd minutes. Oh, okay, thank you. Oh man, I really want to short this. Oof. Mm. Do I decrease my size? The other day I was actually having a look at the French 40. Quite an interesting one. I find sometimes it trends quite nicely. Oh, go on, have a short, man. Have a short. Not now, obviously, but... and would have been short on DAX now. So would have been short both FTSE and DAX at this point. Yeah. I think by now we would have moved our stop to break even. No, not quite yet. 5 or 6 points away from break even. I just do not have the risk appetite for this specific setup today. Call it fear, call it what you want. It's probably a bit of everything, but it's mostly just the risk profile. But now we're breaking down nicely. Let's see if we can get under this low. I think that's almost new lows for the day on the FTSE. There we go, that's new lows for the day. DAX we would have had stop loss at break even by now. Can say that with relative certainty. So what is that? 17,405, 17, yeah, long ago. Yeah, okay, well, would have just. FTSE pulling back a bit. Not uncommon. But DAX is having a go of it. I'll see what the brunch bar setup looks like. I'll see what the risk is involved there, what risk is involved there, and then decide. I may take it. I may take it. Okay, so that would have been in a decent amount of profit if we had taken that, but we're just too scared. What's that? 28 points, 30 points. Yeah, that would have been nice. And the FTSE is starting to press these lows now. about 35 minutes until the brunch break bar. A lot can happen in that time. A lot can happen and nothing at all could also happen. So. $53 points. Damn it. All boils down to confidence in your strategy. I have confidence in my risk, that's the problem. If that even makes sense. But look at that, that's lovely. So we could delete that now because we would have been short. Isn't that lovely? And 15 or so points in the FTSE. So stop loss would be at break even now. Okay. Miss 100% of the good shots that you don't take. Oh, there's a nice push now. Oof. Yep. Well, that's a 95 point bar in the DAX. And about a 27 point bar in the FTSE. Just see. Yep, 30 points. 95 odd points there. Yeah. Nice. And I wasn't on board. Further breakdown. This hurts more than losing. And that's what I've got to get into my stupid brain. Like, yes, the risk profile is not ideal, but seeing this go in your favor and not be involved because you were too scared or you were too mindful of your risk, yeah. What decision do you make off of that? Okay, so about 28 minutes or so until brunch bar. Been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes. I don't see why I shouldn't just stick around to see the brunch bar set up and see if I take it. It might set us up a little long, I don't know, we'll see. It depends on where we get to from now until then. Lovely push. Lovely, lovely push. Thank you. Okay. So basically just sitting and watching now in misery. Actually get rid of this because all it does is remind me. That I should have been in it, but I'm not. So again, no point in being hung up on it and being sour. It is what it is. Made the decision, live with it. And I suppose here as well. No point in having these lines on anymore. There's enough history within the video to know what the thought process was there. Unclutter the charts a bit. Okay, so 8 minutes left of this candle, and then the candle following will be the brunch break setup candle. Again, these are not my strategies. They are just the strategies that I trade. I didn't come up with them, I didn't invent them, I didn't name them. I just trade them. Quite a strong retracement. Back up into this level perhaps, or straight back up into the range. So if you hadn't taken profits during this push to the downside, I think you would have been taken out for break even on this retracement here. I would like to think that getting down to this previous structure over here, you would have looked to have taken profit. And I mean, when it comes to the market, close is close enough. It didn't get all the way down, but that's close enough. This FTSE did get down to this level at about 8,000, just under 8,000, and then it bounced. So look to have taken profits at this bit of structure. Also a psychological level, so take a quick 5-minute break. I'm just going to put the microphone onto mute. Got some time before the brunch break sets up, so I will be right back. So this is the signal bar for brunch break. Now we're straight back into this range. Another 12 minutes of waiting. Patience, patience, patience. Just checking my emails. Okay. About 5.5 minutes left. Bit of a piano key setup here. Black, white, black. So this is like the not so glamorous side of trading. It's just having to sit and wait and watch. I'd be interested to sell that around this level here. Okay, 1 minute 40 seconds for the setup. Let's see. We may have to be quick on this one. That's again, it's not a very nice, not a very nice range. It's already 80 points in the range of this candle, this signal candle. So from a risk point of view, again, I'm a little bit adverse. But yeah, I'd be interested to sell it around over here. 17,355 odd. Ah, 30 seconds. Let's see what we get. And then do I take it or do I not take it because of the risk? Looks like it's going to be a short. Yeah. So there it is. Do we trade it? Not, probably too late now. But I wanted to shorten this area originally. Ugh. Goodness gracious. So quick. Yeah. Missed it again. Stop loss would have been a break even long ago. Maybe we get a bit of a pullback for a second entry. Let's see. Doesn't look like it's gonna give it to us, but let's see. Yeah. Now, do we want to take it? 70 points worth of risk. Yeah. Too hesitant, too worried about the risk. I would have liked that on the first entry. Not now that it's pulled back. I say to myself, I've still got the US session. I don't want to. Would have been stopped out for break even on that, I think, anyway. $17,360 would have been entry. So 20 or so points. Yeah. Yeah, I would have been taken out on break even for that. Stop would have gone to break even at about 10-15 points, and at 20 I don't think I would have taken profit. And that moved quite quickly in reverse, so I think it would have taken me out for break even there. But again, that's the whole point of these videos, is so that I can look at them after the fact and see what would have happened. But I just don't like the risk, man. The risk scares me. Okay, so interesting on that trade. Would have worked for a max of 20 points. And now it looks as though we're starting to move in the opposite direction. I had the idea of shorting at this level beforehand, and I think that would have also only seen me be stopped out for break even if I had taken it. So okay, I think that's good. I've had enough streaming now. I've got to do the US session in a few hours. Might stick around in the markets though, just see if there's any scalping opportunities. I like to scalp a little bit on the FTSE. Reduce my position size, go at 50 cents a point, and try and find some quick in and out opportunities. Ones with relatively small stop losses, so small risk, small reward, but just try and do it over and over again. It doesn't, not only necessarily for, or in the hope of, making a couple of points, but also just to get into the habit of seeing the trade and taking it without fear or hesitation. Got to get used to losing. Not really one of my problems. I lose quite well. If the risk is acceptable, I take the loss quite well, but it's more a case of, in the longer term positions, letting the trade run that's in profit. But also the scalping, I find, can help in getting you kind of used to pulling the trigger and not hesitating, because when you scalp you can't hesitate. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I like to take prior bar scalps, so certain setups that I do look for. And yeah, just getting used to pulling the trigger, actually doing it. Knowledge is nothing without the ability to act. So great. Okay, I think I'm going to stop the stream here. So if anybody does watch, thanks for watching, and I'll be back for US session later on.